whether it's 16 or 15,
It's 16.
it's still may school of thought din na 15.
Ay, naku, wala yung mga
Because-
16. Nasa Constitution 16.
So,
Rally ng mga dilawan, pinklawan, mga komunistang grupo kagahapon, anak ng kagwang, maagang nalusaw. Yan ang sinasabi natin, mga piking paninindigan at panawagan eh. Gustong mambodol pero hindi nakabodol. Vice President Inday Sara Duterte nakahanap naman ng bagong kakampi. At reporter na bias. Sunog kay Ma'am Malu Tiquia. Alam niyo po, no, nakakahiya sa mga reporter na ito eh. Imbis mag-i-interview ka sa inyong programa, at pag nag-interview ka, dapat respetuhin mo yung opinion ng inyong resource person. Kaso nga lang ang problema, dinidebate pa nila. Ang masaklap, yung resource person na in-interview nila, Suli Duterte, kaya sunog sila. Kung si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte nakahanap ng bagong kakampi, sa Hontivirus nakahanap naman ng bagong kaaway. Kinuyog ng mga gamers. Ayan na. Lalong matatalo si Hontivirus sa pangarap niyang maging Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Puta, nadagdagan yung kaaway eh. Tayo nadagdagan yung kakampi. Sila nadagdagan din yung kaaway. Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Palike po muna, pa-share, pa-subscribe. At pakipindot po ang inyong mga notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa ating mga video. Okay, ito, unahin po muna natin itong tungkol sa rally kagahapon na maaga pong nalusaw. No? Kasi expected natin, may madarating na mga artista, di ba? May mga celebrity. Pero hindi ho sila nakabodol eh. Talagang hanggang alas 6 lang, pack up na sila. Nalusaw! Tang-inamin ninyo. Eh paano, pure anti-Duterte rally? Hindi man lang matawag na bangag resign eh. Tingnan mo, ito na po ang nangyayari kagahapon, oh. Ayan na, yung rally ng mga tanga. Mas marami pang mga kapulisan. Wala na. Paano na yan? Kawawang mga hinayupak. Wala yata, lumagin rally ito. Yan ang napala. Maagang natunaw. Tingnan mo naman yung kuha ng drone. Diyos ko, Ginoo. Ano yan? Meeting sa Porok. Anti-Duterte na rally. Pure yan. Oh. Hindi para sa accountability kay Bangag. Mga padre damaso, mga hunghang kayo. Wala nang naniniwala sa kanila. Mga komunista na lang nagpapagamit eh. O, sa mga padre damaso, mga piking panawagan. Kaya yan ang resulta. Talagang lusaw. Ito, pakinggan natin itong, ito pa. Ang expected ni Padre Damaso hindi nakuha. O, tingnan mo. Aminado rin walang amagatid eh.
Magiging katulad o kasindagi na dumalo sa trillion peso march noong Setyembre ang inaasang makikisa sa White Ribbon March ngayong araw. Ayon kay Kinapawan Bishop Jose Colin Bagaforo, nasa 10,000 lamang ang inaasang na dadalo sa pagtitipon ngayong araw. Pero paglinaw nito, mahalaga ang White Ribbon March o pagkilos ngayong araw dahil simbolo ito na buhay ang pagkipaglaban ng taong bayan kontra korupsyon para hindi isipin ng mga nasa posisyon at kapangyarihan na nakalimot na ang tao, patay na ang issue at di na nakikialam ang taong bayan. Kaya importante anya na tuloy-tuloy ang laban kontra korupsyon at dinastiya.
Mali nga yung ipinaglalaban nyo, kaya ang resulta, tunaw, lusaw. Anti-Duterte lang kayong mga hunghang eh. Halata masyado. Huwag masyadong halata. Kaya walang nauto. BBM resign, hindi masabi. Di ba? Flood control, hindi masabi. Hontivirus na resign, wala eh. Hontivirus, tambaluslos. Katunog kasi, Hontivirus, tambaluslos. Nilangaw talaga sila literal, no? Hindi mo maintindihan, bakit Inday Sara yung gustong pananagutin? Kalingkingan lang yung issue kay Inday Sara. Oh. Ito, yung walang utang na loob. Ito, putangin na mga komunista. Si Franz Castro, bakit hindi pa ito inaresto? Ito si Lisa Masa, walang utang na loob sa mga Duterte. Tingnan mo.
Sino po ang mensahe ngayong araw na ito at ito ay lahat ng sangkot dapat managot. Kung ikaw man ay si Duterte, kung ikaw man ay si Marcos, o kung sino ka man, basta ikaw ay involved sa korupsyon, dapat ka managot. At talaga walang nag-aari sa EDSA. Pero malinaw po na ating pinupulit sa araw na ito na tayo po ay hindi tayo maka-Duterte, hindi po tayo maka-Marcos. Alam naman natin si Mike Tensor, siya ay tagapagsalita halos sa Sara Duterte at iniligtas niya ang mga Duterte sa kanilang krimen laban sa bayan. Kaya siya ay dapat ay irespeto ang espasyo ng EDSA doon sa mga talagang lumalaban sa korupsyon.
Alam mo, Lisa Masa, sabi ni Guanzon, kayo daw mga kaliwa, wala daw kayong ambag dyan sa EDSA People Power dahil hindi naman kayo nakikipaglaban. Di ba, Lisa? Panagutin daw ang mga Duterte, krimen ng mga Duterte. Anong krimen? Krimen sa mga komunista kasi napulpog kayo. Itong si Lisa Masa, walang utang na loob sa mga Duterte. Nabigyan niya ng posisyon kaso hindi tumino. Kaya tinanggal, kaya galit na galit. Parang Ridon lang din style yan, galit na galit sa mga Duterte. Krimen? Utangin na, speaking of krimen, yung kriminal, katabi mo. Franz Castro! Okay, anyway, talagang anti-Duterte rally yung kagahapon. Wala tayong magagawa. Pero ito naman, nakahanap po ng bagong kakampi. Makinig ka, Lisa Masa. Kumunti ka naman, Lisa Marcos. Makinig ka, Franz Castro, na convicted na malaya. dito sa isang writer. Ito po yung writer, no? Bagong writer. Okay. Ayan, sabi ng writer, hindi pala bagong writer, bagong kakampi. Ayan. Makinig kayo. Lisa Marcos na po ay si Susit Doc Toliro. Ang sabi niya, ito yung prawn feeds ngayon na kumakalat sa mga DDS FB pages. Manunulat, question kung bakit si BP Sara ang ini-impeach at hindi ang mga magnanakaw na bilyon-bilyon ang nililimas. Nagtaka ang manunulat na si Susit Doc Toliro kung bakit si Vice President Sara Duterte ang humaharap ngayon sa impeachment complaint kahit na hindi naman umano ito nagnakaw ng bilyon-bilyong piso. Sa isang post, sinabi ni Doc Toliro na hindi sangkot si Duterte sa anomalya sa flood control at hindi rin umano ito nakatanggap ng insertion sa kanyang budget. Ang tanong, ito ang sabi ni Doc Toliro, ang tanging ibinabato, lustay daw kasi, biyahe ng biyahe. Kung nakakulong ang tatay mo sa sahig, hindi mo ba dadalawin lagi? Lalo't isang perma na lang ang buhay, ani ni Doc Toliro. Ang tagong yaman, hindi iyan ay tatago talaga. Lumalabas yan sa uri ng pamumuhay. Hindi nagpaparty si Sara sa ibang bansa tuwing birthday o ini-invite ang mamahaling Duran-Duran Oy. Duran-Duran kaya ano yan, kay Baki at saka Bangag. Hindi 88 million lang ang salin compared sa 1,000% paglobo ng salin ni Martin Romualdez at Bangag. Wala ring nagchichismis na koleksyon ng mga Forbes Park mansion si Sara. Di gaya ng iba dyan, dagdag pa niya. Ayan po yung banat ng isang writer. Sikat pala ito na writer, no? May common sense talaga, no? Simple lang eh. Kung si Inday Sara Kawatan, ang daming mga mansyon. Kagaya kay Martin Romualdez. Maraming air asset, kagaya kay Martin Romualdez. Saldico. Si Baki, meron yan. Pati si Bungik, may mga chopper. Magandang mga luxury cars, kagaya yung mga Diskaya. Kaso wala ngayon si Vice President Inday Sara. Ang gusto lamang nila, gumawa ng issue para masira si Inday. Ang problema nga, hindi nasisira. Lalong dumarami ang kakampi, mga bagong kakampi, at hindi nalulusaw ang mga supporters, lalong tumitibay. Kasi nga, alam naman ng taong bayan na hindi totoo yung mga aligasyon laban sa mga Duterte. Ito, putsang na, di ba yung update natin, sabi natin nasa 3,700 yung bilang ng mga kalahok sa Peking White Ribbon. 2,000 po yan yung DDS dyan. Ito. Alam mo yung mga kakampi ni Vice President Inday Sara, mga matatalino. Abogada rin yata din po ito. Matatalino, mga eksperto, magaling sa technicality. Kagaya itong si Mama Lutikia. No? Alam niyo po, humanga rin po ako dito kay Mama Lutikia kasi nga, lagi niyang sinasabi na hindi naman ako DDS. Nakakahiya po sa mga original na mga DDS na sasabihin kong DDS ako. Talaga namang hindi DDS si Mama Lutikia. Talagang, I think si Bina yata yung sinuportahan niya noong 2016 eh. Pero, bakit sumuporta siya kay Inday Sara sa mga Duterte? Kasi nga, tama yung direksyon, tama yung mga pamumuno ng mga Duterte. Hindi naman susuporta si Mama Lutikia sa mga Duterte kung baluktot ang paniniwala at paninindigan nila. Gusto nilang i-impeach si Inday Sara. Dapat si Bangag yung ini-impeach. Ngayon, sumalang si Mama Lutikia dito sa mainstream media, in-interview. Bastos talaga itong mga, itong reporter na to, itong babaeng ito, tang inumin. Naalala ko doon nung si Jimmy Bundok, in-interview nila, pinagtulungan nila si Jimmy Bundok eh. Alam mo naman si Atty. Jimmy Bundok, bagong abogado, yung tungkol kay Bato. Talagang napiga nila. Kasama si Sis Drilon yun. Pero ito, sa pagkakataong ito, nakaganti tayo. Naka-escort tayo dito. Pilit nilang sunugin si Mama Lutikia. Pilit nilang durugin, pero sila po ang nadurog at nasunog. Pakinggan po natin ang interview kay Mama Lutikia ng bias na media. Narito muna yung una. Tingnan natin.
The House. As I was saying, we spoke to Attorney Lorna Capunan this afternoon. She is, of course, one of the private prosecutors on the defense side. Ang sabi niya, the prosecution side is probably calling around 57 witnesses, whilst the defense is calling about 29 witnesses. The funny thing she said there is that out of the 29 that the defense is likely calling, 25 are common with the prosecution. And she says it's weird kasi pwede naman i-cross-examine ang witness ng prosecution. Bakit kailangan ilagay din yung name sa...
Well, that's a tactic. And I mean, Attorney Capunan should not be surprised. She's a trial lawyer. So if you bring in a witness who can be assailed, then the whole thing drops, right? The whole case, kind of go haywire, and that is not probably to the interest of the prosecution.
So the idea there is to assail
Yes,
the witnesses.
assail the witness, assail their
attack their
affidavit.
credibility.
Yeah, and if that works, then the whole case. Remember, I think there's a question on on the confidential fund. Piatos, they're saying they have a witness named Piatos. Good luck, because that's a nom de guerre. And when you use that, you'll probably cross the line on confidential fund and aliases. They have that Sal-in from vice mayor. They debated that from vice mayor to the vice president. Vice mayor and mayor are not impeachable offices. So technically, you're just talking of 3 years, not 19 or 20 years. That's point 2. Point 3 is on the conditional threat. Conditional threat is something that is hard to prove unless they bring in that person who they claim was commissioned by the vice president to do.
Maybe they
Yes.
found him or
I don't know.
I don't know.
You
Pero
know.
yung Sal-in, they have it all the way, yes.
Maybe found him. Maybe they found him. Lo mo. John Wick. Putang ina, alam mo yung ginawa ni Inday Sara, bluff lang yun. Conditional trip, tangina na nahanap daw nila. Sino yung hinanap ninyo John Wick? Baka si Madriaga. Sabi nitong reporter na ito, pakabayas ito.
Up to 20 years. But the ones when she was already vice president apply.
Yeah, just 3 years. So why are you using the time during when she was vice mayor to mayor?
I guess just to show a pattern there.
What
right?
pattern?
Of
Those are not
increasing.
impeachable offices.
Oo. Pero malayo kasi sa Sal-in as we saw during the
Malayo
House
sa
Justice
sweldo kasi ang
Committee.
sweldo ng vice mayor at ang sweldo ng vice president talagang magkaiba. So doon pa lang malayo na. So yung claim mo ng illegal wealth, etc. will also go to the to the flush because those are not impeachable years.
Correct.
So basic. So kung makikita mo pahina ng pahina yung kaso ng House of Representatives, and then now they're introducing new evidence which was not
Yeah.
alleged during the substance and form period. So
But that was always their argument that they have more evidence. Of course, some of it you will say for the trial
but it is
proper.
not in the affidavit.
But it is enough. Kasi yung sa Justice Committee hearing, you were not looking for proof beyond reasonable doubt. It was a much lower
Yeah,
threshold,
but that is
right?
not the role of the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
That's the role of the trial court.
Correct.
So,
Ano ma'am? Naintindihan mo na ma'am? Kasi pinagpilitan nila, tama si Ma'am Ano dito, pahina ng pahina yung kaso labang kay Inday Sara. Kasi wala silang ebidensya talagang nabibuild patungkol sa sinasabing ill-gotten wealth. No, putang ina yung pinag-uusapan, impeachment labang kay Inday, pagiging vice presidente. Tapos yung pagiging vice mayor, tsaka mayor, yan ang kinakalkal nila. Putang anong connect doon sa pagiging vice presidente? Eh, sabi nga ng isa ni yung writer kung Sal-in lang ang pinag-uusapan, mas 1,000 times tumaas kay Bangag at saka kay Martin Luther King Lalo na yung mga buhaya dyan, yung mga kinakampihan ninyo, antivirus, Diyos ko Ginoo. Yung mga kongresista, lalo. O ito pa, lalo na ditong sunog, yung reporter na ito. Mamalutiki ito yung matindi.
yes,
I know there's a lot of debate right now on what the number
there's
is.
that school of thought that, it can be a carrot for anyone who is interested to go national.
Is it?
Yes. Because they're talking of conviction already, when in fact, it's very hard to
But
get that
exactly,
conviction.
whether it's 16 or 15,
It's 16.
It's still may school of thought din na 15.
Ay, naku, wala yung mga
Because-
16. Nasa Constitution 16.
Sorry, Malu, but,
Oo.
but yung people who are in the 15 or 14 camp include former justices, like kunyari,
Oh, yeah, but
former senior
Davide and
associate justice,
Ascuna are for 16. So it's
former
divided.
Saj Antonio Carpio says it's not hard and fast. Former SP Frank Trilon says
I'll go with Chief Justice Davide and Ascuna.
Yung term ni former SP Trilon is the two are beyond the Senate's coercive jurisdiction, meaning the Senate can't compel them to
No, they were not
participate.
suspended by the Senate. They were
No,
not
I know, but,
disciplined by the
yes,
Senate.
but one is under the jurisdiction
Still,
of the law.
they can find ways for that person to vote. They were not disciplined. So that's another area
Senator
that they will...
Jinggoy is being
Yeah,
disciplined.
but they were not.
Yeah.
He was not disciplined by the Senate. His privileges were not suspended.
The
He was the
law-
one who said, "You can take my salary, you can do
Yeah.
whatever."
But does the law not supersede internal Senate parliamentary rules?
No,
Because
a
he is-
member has to be disciplined.
No, but the point is he's in jail.
Yeah.
And he is beyond. He is stripped of his
No, he's not
legislative
beyond. He's not
responsibility.
beyond.
So how can the Senate compel him to attend?
Talk to the Sandigan Bayan and allow him for law to vote.
That
There
is-
are so many ways to do that.
That is, the former Senator De Lima tried that. The
Oo.
Muntinlupa RTC denied it.
Oh, but
Because
still you can try it. It doesn't mean it's the decision will be carried. There's several wild cards actually on play, and we cannot really finally say this one is the hard rule. But these are all live cards that we need to consider when you go to the threshold. And I think that would be one of the decision points of the impeachment court to lay a clear definition on the threshold.
Itong mga dilawan talaga, double standards, Pinaniwalaan nila yung threshold, magiging 15 daw. Bababa pa daw sa 15. Kasi nga si Bato at si Jinggoy, hindi daw makaka-attend. Diyos ko, sino pinagbasehan ninyo? Antonio Carpio, Dilawan, Anti-Duterte. Meron pang isa, sino daw? Si Laila Disaba, Diyos ko, Dilawan. No? Mas naniniwala ako dito sa mga author ng 1987 Constitution yung gumawa. Si Ascuna at saka si Davide, pareho yan. Yan ang paniwalaan natin. Hindi naman mga pro-Duterte ang mga yan, di ba? Si Davide noon, sinabi na 16 is 16. O, hindi po pwedeng ganun. Yung sinasabi ninyong wala, beyond jurisdiction ng Senate, putang ina, nasa Pilipinas yan. Kasama pa rin 24 pa rin ang pinag-uusapan. Kasi wala na silang magawa talaga. Si Inday Sara, zero conviction dyan sa impeachment. Siguradong mananalo sa pagkapangulo. Ang masaklap lamang dito sa mga mainstream media, imbis sila ang magpapakalat ng tamang impormasyon, lalo nilang ginawang komplikado ang mga impormasyon, pinagtatakpan nila. Pero anyway, wala naman silang magagawa. May mga political vlogger na ngayon. Pero yung threshold talaga, 16 talaga ho yan. O yan, nasaksihan po ninyo kung paano nasunog itong reporter ng News 5. O ito, kung tayo ay nakahanap ng bagong kakampi, ito naman si Hontiveros, nakahanap ng bagong kaaway. Puta, kinuyog ng mga gamers, online gamers. Okay, pakinggan muna natin si Sir. Sir, banatan mo si Hontiveros, Sir. O ito.
Ang ba't ganun? I'm taking a shit. But I was taking a shit. But I was doom scrolling. Tapos nakita ko sa DILG page that they are actually considering the possibility to ban video games. Ayun na naman sila eh. Every time a minor or a juvenile commits some kind of crime or violence, ano yung sisisihin nila? Video games. It's so fucking stupid. I can't believe I'm doing this. Usually yung mga ganitong video, sila ano na eh, may mga kilala kayo, mga content creator gumagawa ng mga ganito eh, yung mga video essay about certain issues. I didn't want to have to do this, okay, katamad ako magawa ng ganito, but here I am. Guys, alam naman natin diba, that video game doesn't really cause violence, okay? Kahit ano pang laruin nyo, hindi naman yan directly makaka-apekto sa mga gusto mong gawin, okay? There's like a deeper freaking root that needs to be pulled out in order to find kung bakit gumawa ng karahasan ng isang bata o isang tao, okay? Alam na natin yan, I'm not gonna explain that anymore. I'm gonna focus on roasting the freaking dumbass government for even considering this shit. Again, ilang beses na nangyari to, guys. This is not the first time that they considered banning a certain video games. Ay, naglaro kasi ng PUBG yan, ng GTA, ng Dota, Counter-Strike, Barbie, lahat. And then, wala nangyari. They weren't able to ban it kasi bobo nga sila. It's just so stupid that they're considering it again and that they're even saying this again. Okay, they don't learn. Wala, sobrang mema na lang nila, guys. They're just grasping for straws at this point because they never found a way to address this issue properly. Okay, when it comes to our children, yung mental health ng mga kabataan, ng mga adult, lahat. Mas gusto pa nila isisi yung video games kasi ang dali-dali lang kasi yung ipinpoint doon kaysa yung actual freaking root of the cause. And I'm pretty sure you know what the root of the cause is. Ang dami na nagsabi, dami ng mga content creators and kung sino-sino pa nagsabi na nag-explain nun. And I'm not gonna explain that anymore. Okay, gasgas na. Pero sige, games. Guys, alam niyo naman siguro, may tried and tested na game na talagang nakaka-apekto sa livelihood, sa well-being ng hindi lang kabataan, but also just pretty much every single person in this freaking earth. And sobrang sukit ng mga Pinoy dito. Alam niyo na yun. Lagi ako nagpo-post against doon. Online casinos. Ano niyo ba yung isang episode dun sa Teach You a Lesson? Ganun na ganun. If there was a game that ruins lives, ayun na yun. Ang dami ng sinira, ng hayop na scatter at online casinos na yan.
Correct.
But is it being banned? They tried. Pero ba't ang dami pa rin billboards doon sa EDSA? Ang dami pa rin, dude, last time na pumunta ako sa isang movie house or sa isang cinema, tayo na, yun yung unang ads na nag-play. If the price is right, no? Kasi yung iba, hindi pagcore, regulated. Pero pag pagcore regulated yan, sige, go! Kahit kano pa nila i-regulate yan, people are gonna find ways to get addicted to gambling. So bakit lagamak pa rin? Kasi it's a lucrative freaking business and kumikita rin yung gobyerno dyan. Kaya by the logic ng gobyerno, as long as kumikita sila sa isang bagay, kahit masama pa yun, sige lang, kabayos lang. Ang nakatawa pa, yung mga artista, mga content creators na nakikita mo sa mga billboard, yung mga nagpo-promote to mga online casino platforms na yun, sila pa yung lalakas bang virtue signal ng mga pananindigan nila sa buhay? Tangina, ang mga ipokrito kayo! You guys are the last person that should say anything about life, okay?
Kagaya ni Vice Ganda. Tuloy lang, Sir. Oh, bira.
Okay? Alam mo ba yung right message pero wrong messenger? Ano yun? Kaya huwag kayo maniniwala sa kahit anong sabihin ng mga taong gano'n kasi they don't even know kung ano talaga pinaninindigan nila. Tapos kadalasan puro AI pa yung ginagamit nila pang promote. Remember that other time gusto nila i-ban yung Roblox pero gusto daw nila i-tax yung Roblox para may kitain sila. See, it's not about banning something. It's about how they can get rich from it. Take a look at the tobacco industry. Okay? Mga sigarilyo, mga tobacco products. They're not banning that. Like, there's no actual health benefit to those products. But hey, hindi nila binaban yan kasi they're earning a lot of money from that. However, they will ban vapes. Anything that goes against the product of an oligarchy, tatanggalin nila yan. Ang rason nila kasi hindi daw healthy yung vape. Putang ina, lalo na yung sigarilyo, di ba? Ano ba
Correct.
hindi nila binaban kasi kumikita sila? Movies, shows, like, dude, have you seen Coco Martin? The bro kills every fucking episode.
Yan.
Yung Batang Gap or kung ano yung ginagawa
Correct.
niya, may bago siya ngayon, he freaking bodied like 10, 15 people. Like, ano yun? Kids, adults, they watch that shit every day. So yun, i-ban nyo na rin yun. Banyo. Ban. Nasa banyo ako. Oh, shit. You know what this shit, man? Actually ruined my life. Speaking from my own experience, gacha games. Ban the gacha. Ban the gacha. Some of you guys might be asking, Globo, what if you ban guns? Like, honestly, that could help. You know, that could help lessen gun crime. But would it lessen crime itself? Probably not. But by all means, I don't care about guns that much. So if they do ban guns, then it doesn't really affect me. But it will definitely affect a lot of responsible gun owners. Like, people just love their guns, I guess. If you ban a certain weapon, definitely there will be a drastic drop in cases using that certain weapon. But that's not going to stop someone who has spiraled down to no return. You know what I mean? If someone has succumbed to despair and is hell bent on killing someone, they're gonna find ways to like go through it. Like I say, they just gotta do it. And that's something that our society, our government has failed to address properly, like that factor right there. And I doubt it ever will be addressed properly with the current people who's running our fucking country. Like, you guys are smart. I'm pretty sure you know that our government is a fucking circus na mga puro pansarili lang na problema yung mga inaatupag nila. Not to mention the people supporting those people. Like, Jesus Christ. Akala ko malala na yung fandom ng mga anime peeps, pero hindi eh. Mas malala yung mga pagkakulto ng mga inikidulo niya eh. Mga sa top ng botohan. Wow, kayo naglagay yan. Ay, nako. Anyways, yun lang. No?
Ayan, talagang magaling din tong mga online gamer, no? English spoken dollar. Kasi araw-araw sila, nasa social media, naglalaro. Siguro makausap nila mga foreigner. Hanap buhay na rin yan eh, yung online gaming, no? Pero hindi rin naman ano yan, hindi naman yan kagaya ng sugal, no? Gaya ng pinopromote ni Vice Ganda, Piolo Pascual, anak ng kamote. Online casino, scatter. Pero ito, meron mga sports pa nga yan, di ba? Yung Mobile Legends, sports na rin yan. Tama dito si Sir eh, bakit si Coco Martin eh? Putangin na, marahas yung kanyang teleserye, bakit hindi nababan? O ngayon, lalong uminit noong bumanat si Ontivirus, pakinggan natin si Sir.
Guys, tingnan nyo to. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Nasa Senado na yung issue about banning video games and now they're trying to summon the game developer ng Gorebox. Bro, this is embarrassing. Akala ko last video ko na yung echo chamber video ko sa banyo. I thought that was like my first and last video about this issue. But holy, guys, I'm gonna level myself here. Hindi mo na ako mag-canal creator mode because this ain't funny anymore. Like, this is just disappointing. Of all the people you would expect from the Senate to do such an embarrassing move, like you would expect sila Robin, yung sila Bato, or kung sino pa yung mga you would expect them. Risa, oh my God. My dear senators, please, we have enough clowns in the circus already. Wag na kayong dumagdag. Okay, leveling now. So apparently the issue
Putangin na, wag mo naman sabihin clown sila ni Bato at saka Robin. Umayos ka nga Sir eh. Ma-uppercut kita ngayon. Banatan mo lang si Ontivirus. Okay, tuloy oh.
with banning video games because of the recent tragedy that happened in Tacloban has now been escalated to the point where the original game developer of Gorebox, who is based in Germany, or he's German, is now being called to a Senate hearing. Who freaking... This is embarrassing not just for the gaming community in the Philippines, but for the country itself. Because this just shows just how unprogressive our government is. And our reputation in the international level is already very low, and this just... just leveled it down a bit more. Ito yung sabi ni Senator Risa. Nakakadismaya na pinili ni Mr. Philip na wag na dumalo sa darating na hearing namin. Why would he? Why should he? Okay, what are you gonna get? You're gonna waste that person's time. You're just gonna freaking drain that guy. It was pretty clear on his game, Gorebox, that it was a 18 plus game. I'm not even gonna mention how dumb and cartoony the game looks like. There are so many other games out there that are more accessible, more gory, more grotesque than Gorebox, and that's not even the point. The point is, this shouldn't have ever happened. It never should have been an issue. So are we just gonna keep blaming every freaking violent video game out there for any tragedy that happens in the future, ban it, give it sanctions and all that stuff? I don't know, what's next? Freaking TV shows, movies, magazines? What? Senator Risa, I have a certain amount of respect for you in the Senate. However, whatever you just said, this move, this politically grandstanding looking move is not it. Like, this is bad. This is just objectively bad. Because if your reason for inviting the developer of Gorebox to the Senate hearing was to learn more about the implications of video games and violence and stuff, there are so many research studies out there that has already debunked that. And isa pa, people have already mentioned this. We have a gamer in the Senate. We have Senator Bam Aquino. You could have just asked him about the implications of video games. You could have just talked to him. He'll probably clear it for you. I don't even know why Bam isn't saying anything yet. Has he? I don't know. At the moment of taking this video, he hasn't. Blaming a video game for something like this is also kind of like blaming art itself. Because video games is another medium of art. Again, if you start banning video games, then you might as well just ban every media out there that contains violence. This is like the most embarrassing one. Any developer or online company that wants to operate here, profit from Filipino users, and reach Filipino children must respect our laws and our institutions. This should be the bare minimum for them to do business here. Kung ayaw nilang kilalanin, mananagot sila. Oh my God, that's just something so icky about that statement. We're talking about video games here, not online casinos, nothing pay to earn, just good old just shooting stuff and it bleeds and then that's it. Just pixels and data dying in the game. And you want to strictly regulate that? Do I need to explain this point? Because if we're talking about accessibility, the government itself isn't really doing a great job. Again, like in my previous video, I mentioned like freaking billboards of people promoting stupid ass online gambling platforms. What else? What else? Loaning apps. They're all hiding under the tagline that, gamble responsibly or do this responsibly. This is for adults only. Ano, sapat na lang.
Ito dilawan, pinklawan ito. Sir, lipat ka na sa DDS, sir. Sipin mo, dilawan ka, sir eh. Tinarantado ka ng kapwa dilawan mo. Mga pinklawan, yan ang sinasabi natin eh. Tinamaan din kayo ni Ontivirus. Si Bam Aquino, gamer. Tsaka nakita nga ho natin yung anak ni Bam Aquino, tinuturuan pa nga maglalaro ng mga games. Yan sila. May race eh. Magtablahan kayo. Ito pa, tuloy lang natin ng konti.
Alam ba yun? The target demographics for such things is supposed to be super obvious, right? And yet may mga minors pa rin, may mga bata pa rin na gagawa nun or magpa-participate sa ganung bagay. So what perpetuates that behavior? There's a lot of factors, but definitely not freaking video games. Because if you totally ban a certain art form, okay, you're denying people something that they live for. Because guys, we work so that we can survive, right? But we live to enjoy entertainment, to enjoy the art. I think I got that from a movie, I don't know. But it's true. That's what other people have said. Like, they play video games. They enjoy certain pieces of art forms in order to escape their problems, to escape into that world and just enjoy themselves, detach. You know, people need that. Do you think it's a healthy outlet to be playing violent video games? Like, why not? It's a video game. We're not killing real people there. Somewhere in our brain, somewhere hard-coded into our DNA, our hunter instinct, it's still there. Okay, our ancestors had that. And we're just trying to find a moral, ethical, humanitarian way to release that. That's why people still enjoy hunting, fishing, playing video games, going on adventures. We know the limits of fiction. Guys, I'm not here to give a substantial solution to this issue because, again, there's like so many layers, there's so many factors to this. But hey, if we're looking for ideas on solutions or where to start in solving this problem, then I suggest checking the statement of the Philippine Society for Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. This is their page. Look at that. So they listed a couple of things that could be strengthened for prevention efforts. You know, because I do believe that prevention is better than cure. So one factor to consider: early identification of warning signs. Second, safe, confidential, and accessible reporting systems. Do we have those? Comprehensive and sustained anti-bullying programs. Since when did we have that? Responsible digital supervision and guidance. Strong and nurturing family support systems. Oh, it's so over for the Filipinos, man. Nope. Strict control and monitoring of minors' access to weapons. Naku po! And effective implementation of current mental health legislation and child protection policies, which you guys always ignore. Hey, Philippines could absolutely never. Hay nako, like, these are really good lists, PS Cap. Like, good on ya. Yeah, I got good. Start talking to this. Don't talk to the game developers. Talk to these people, okay? Talk among yourselves. This stuff about video games is not it. Trust me, you're gonna do more harm to society if you start sanctioning these video games. And to the senators who are thinking of doing the same thing as Risa, oh my God, like, if you're trying to appeal to the boomers who have one leg on their grave already, then, yeah, go ahead, live your life. But you're gonna lose a lot of support from the people who are still
Ito na.
young and up and about. Even non-gamers can see that. Keep your hands away from people's harmless art and entertainment. Start focusing on the real problems. Stop grandstanding. We've had enough of that with Ian Peter Cayetano and freaking minority block before. We're tired. We're so tired. We are so tired with your circus, with your clownery. We're not dumagdag. Please get your shit together.
Merese.
You guys are supposed to be the cream of the top of the top. You know what I mean? How are you guys acting so damn stupid all the freaking time? Ay nako. Nakapagod na. Don't make us lose whatever respect we have left to some of you guys there.
Pagod na pagod ka na.
You got this.
Pagod ka na sa sinusuportahan yung mga baliko paninindigan. Ngayon, kinukutyan nyo si Robin, kinukutyan nyo si Bato, ngayon si Alan Peter Cayetano, ngayon, tinabla kayo ng kakampi nyo. Ang comment ko dyan, Merese. Alam mo, sir, no? Pumunta ka sa tamang daan, no? Tingnan mo, ikaw, ngyak-ngyak ka. Huwag ka nang sumuporta sa mga dilawan, panig ka sa mga DDS kasi nasa tamang landas kami. O tingnan mo, anong sinapit mo ngayon? Ginago ka ng sinusuportahan mo. Mangyak-ngyak ka. Pero yung kinukutya mo, Cayetano, Bato, Robin, hindi ka binigyan ng problema, hindi ka sinaktan. Pero yung sinusuportahan mo, yung Tiberos, sinaktan ka. Sayang yung katalinuhan mo, sir, kung hindi gamitin mo sa tama. Sumanib ka sa amin. At maninindigan tayo. Tama din siya na mabawasan yung suporta ni Risa Hontiveros. Mabawasan talaga. Kasi nasaktan man sila. Anak buhay man yan. Sa panahon ni Tatay Digong, di kayo umiyak, no? Pero ngayon sa panahon ni Bangag, mangiyak-ngiyak kayo. Isa lang ang ibig sabihin, Gloco Gaming. Mas may malasakit ang Duterte kaysa sinusuportahan mong mga dilawan, pinklawan. Kaya habang bata pa, putang na naman nindigan ka. Tingnan mo ngayon kung sino may malasakit, mga Duterte. So ngayon, sino ang nagbibigay ng pasakit? Ayan, mga dilawan, Hontiveros, Marcos admin. Hindi ka na ganito sa Duterte admin, no? Ngayon, mangyak-ngiyak ka. Wala, ang comment ko. Oh, Mirese. Yan, may bagong kalaban si Hontiveros. Pero hindi rin naman natin kakampi itong hinayopak na gamer na ito. Yan, pinklawan pa rin yan. Pero mag-isip kayo kung saan kayo pupunta. Pupunta ba kayo sa langit o papunta kayo sa impyerno?